Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to thank you for giving us this time to introduce you to Actian Avalanche. I'd like to start by taking a look back at the evolution of the modern data warehouse to give you some insight into how Actian Avalanche fits into this space. On the left are your traditional data warehouse vendors. You know them as Exadata, Netezza, Teradata. They were designed for on-premise hardware. Moving to the cloud became the next option for data warehouse vendors who were looking to get out of the data center. Redshift started more of as a traditional data center in the cloud by taking that existing architecture and moving it to the cloud. And what Redshift and traditional vendors did not do was really optimize that resourcing in the cloud. This is where Snowflake came in. They are the first cloud data warehouse in the market that separated their compute and storage and that allowed them to scale their storage independently of their compute. They've been very successful, but what they don't have is an on-prem offering. They also haven't been able to address every need that has come from these more demanding workloads and requirements that you're seeing today. This is where Actian came to market. We initially had an on-prem offering, and then about 2 years ago, we redeveloped it to create a cloud offering as well. And we actually separated our compute and storage. Or what we really don't care is where you develop your application. It's the same database that runs in the cloud and on-premise. The same physical data model, no structure changes unless you want to make them. Same ETL jobs. Basically, whatever you've developed on-premise is the same as in the cloud. And by doing so, we address important challenges that our predecessors have not yet been able to deliver on. This is where I introduce Actian Avalanche, our fully managed hybrid cloud data warehouse that is also ASA compliant. In the next several slides, I'm going to walk you through each of these 4 areas. First, we designed Avalanche for high performance. We excel at large demanding workloads with our elastic cloud and compute engine. We give you the flexibility in your deployment options, whether that's multi-cloud, virtual private cloud, on-premise, or a combination of all 3. Integration is included at no extra cost. And now is a good time to introduce the Avalanche guarantee, which is that we provide the lowest cost for performance at enterprise scale. So here are the top 3 savings areas that Avalanche passes on to you. I'll highlight them briefly. The first one is our faster on-demand elastic compute performance and separation of storage. I'll share some benchmark reports with you in the next slide. Second is low-cost cloud meter. We actually draw down less dollars per hour for all workloads, including ones that are higher concurrent and more complex. Last, but very important, is our flexible analytic and hybrid deployment options. We give you an easier journey from your on-premise to your cloud over time, as well as cost savings along the way. We don't just claim we are the leader in industry performance. We actually do have the benchmarks to prove it. In this one, which is run by a third party on TPCH industry standard benchmarks, we were 9 times faster than Snowflake when put in a side-by-side comparison. You'll see as the number of concurrent users scaled from 1 to 20, our performance also increased over Snowflake. Our performance advantage is one of our core differentiators, and that's due to our vectorized core processing, which I will get into in the next slide. But Avalanche was really designed and architected to maximize resource utilization. There's really 2 levers at play here, and that's cost and performance. And it's really where we are able to make this 50% guaranteed savings against Snowflake. Let's now take a look inside the Avalanche engine to show you how we are architected for performance and in turn allowing you to save on costs. There are really 6 key areas of engine performance that we focus on. They're highlighted here, and I'll briefly run through them. The foundation of Avalanche is our vector columnar database. It was built from inception to leverage vectorized processing, giving cube-like performance. We take advantage of the chip cache, which is generally 50 to 100 times faster than main memory. What we're doing is processing that data on chip and not in RAM. We're leveraging columnar compression by only analyzing the column and vector data sets that are needed. We're highly parallel. We take advantage of as much of the resources as you tell us to. And what this does is create a hands-off performance that's out of the box. One of the things with relational databases like your Teradata, your Netezza, and Oracle is many times in order to get that performance that Avalanche delivers, or not even quite close, is you'll need some sort of skilled DBA on your team that understands how to perform those tuning techniques. And by automating a lot of those hands-off items, as you see here on this list, this is another area where we are able to deliver you higher performance while also lowering your costs. We built Avalanche on true hybrid architecture to give you the deployment flexibility to move to the cloud at your own pace. Our federated query capability enables you to simultaneously access and query data in multiple Avalanche domains, both on-prem and across multiple clouds. And that's why our hybrid story is so valuable to customers. We have the capability to help facilitate both full data migrations as well as a phase-off approach. For instance, say you were to offload from your current Teradata environment onto Avalanche on-prem, and then you decide to move to the cloud. It's basically just a move in place. It's the same database, same data model, same performance without changing apps or data. ETL jobs are the same. It's really the same product no matter where you deploy it. Integration is included at no additional cost. We have over 200 pre-built connectors to applications such as Salesforce, NetSuite, and SAP, to name a few. You also have the ability to design, deploy, and manage those integrations from a single control plane. What I really want you to take away from this slide is that we do offer quick automation services to get you started. If you're moving data over from a current operation, we do include some migration services at no cost. And we have a professional services team that is ready to help with your migration path. I know I just covered a lot, so in summary, I wanted to highlight some key points. We designed Avalanche for high performance. We excel at large, demanding workloads with our elastic cloud and compute engine to truly outperform our competition. We have a low-cost cloud meter, which draws down less dollars per hour for those enterprise workloads that have more complex queries, as well as increasing concurrent users. We give you flexible hybrid deployment options because we understand your business needs change over time as you go from on-prem to cloud. And that sums up my presentation. Before we address any next steps, I did want to check and see if there were any other individuals that we should include in this conversation. We can do one of two things. I'd love to schedule a call next week to go and show them a live demo of Avalanche and bring them into the conversation. But also we have the option of moving into a technical workshop with our engineering team and your technical team to work with you in understanding what your requirements are in more of a guided session. And with that, I will stop talking now. But we can schedule this as early as next week if that works for you. And I want to thank you again. Thanks.